Hello, welcome to Three Crows Runes. My name is Jen. Let's do some rune readings. Today it is the 17th day of the month of 10, and the moon is waning. So, and it's almost waning here. It's almost going to rain today. We had a really bright sky this morning, very vivid. So, but anyway, let's see what message wants to come through today. This is the message for whenever you find this video. It's for whoever this message is for. That's interesting. I'll tell you why in a minute. And if you are watching this and it's not resonating with you, then just assume that it's not for you and leave it for whoever it's for, even if that for whoever it's for is actually you in the future. So, and I was thinking about this yesterday when I was saying this. I actually said, and it may have been for you in the past. So maybe you can work with that, but let's see what message wants to come through today. I said, wow, that's interesting, because the rune that I pulled for myself today was Dagas, and that's our central issue, which is really interesting. So maybe there's something that is going to be revealed to us unignorably as a collective, or maybe this is going to be, we're going to be really sort of collectively seeing the big picture on a certain thing. Let me just get this a little bit prettier. Can I get that a little prettier? Okay. Central issue, we have Dagas. Dagas is the rune of the breaking of the day. It's basically full illumination. It's something that's filling your entire field of vision. It's a revelation. It's a breakthrough. It's, it's, how do I put this? It's like you can't ignore it, basically. It's like it's there. It's all coming at you. Overwhelm is definitely implied in some cases where you feel like everything's coming at you at once. Leading up to this, we have Berkana reversed. Berkana is the rune of the birch tree. This has to do with beginnings and birth. Reversed on the pathline, I'm going to read this a couple ways. For some of you, this may have been a beginning that you began, but then you had to back burner it because something else was going on. For some of you, this may have been a beginning that was ended prematurely, which unfortunately can happen, and under however it is done, whatever it's about, it can be something like, okay, well, we can't actually go forward with that, which in some cases is very, very, very sad. But for some of you, this is basically the end of a beginning. You've begun something, and now you've wrapped up the first chapter, and now you're moving into the main part of it, and the main part of it is just basically everything coming at you. And I'm sort of leaning towards that read on this based on what I'm seeing here. But we'll see. So basically, this leads to right now, which is Dagas, the breaking of the day. It's just like everything is coming at you. And you know what else has been happening lately? The squirrels have been going off in the tree that's outside my window. Like yesterday, there was a reason that I could see, which was a dog surprised one of them, and then two squirrels are up in the tree screaming at the dog. They're just yelling at the dog and letting everybody in the neighborhood know that there was a dog. But this morning, one ran up in the tree, and it was clearly already going off, and it was looking at me through the window and flipping its tail around. And then I opened the window to see what it was, and that freaked it out even more. And then it went down to a lower branch and was yelling. Man. Anyway, but stuff just basically, things are suddenly being revealed a lot right now. Things are just becoming unignorable, and it's just everywhere. What is going to help you in this stage? And I'm sort of I think I'm going to base most of this on that third read on Berkana reversed, which is that you've wrapped up the beginning chapter of a thing that you were working on. There goes the yard work again. Enjoy. Think of it as ASMR. What's going to help you? We have Uruz reversed and we have Yira. So Yira is the rune of the harvest and also time. First of all, to acknowledge that this is basically a season that we have entered into, when everything is going to be big and in your face. And so if this was the beginning that you've just wrapped up and now you've entered into the main part of it, this is the time in which you're doing this. And this is the main season that you need to be focused on in the present to do this, to bring things through while you can and while the time is right to do it. You can also be reassured that as soon as you are working on what you're working on with this, you're going to see results right away. The fruits of your labors will be apparent. What's going to help you even more with that, what's going to help you with that, is we have Uruz reversed. Uruz is the rune of the wild ox. This has to do with strength, health, and stubbornness in terms of stick-to-itiveness, also resistance. Reversed on the upper line, it's letting go of resistance. It's relying on your resilience and your inner strength. And as far as this being, okay, we've ended the beginning and now we're coming into the main part of it and everything is coming at you at once, but now is the time that you have to do this. So don't resist this time. This is not the time to say, I'm not in the mood to do it, because this is a timed thing. This is a thing where you have to jump on it and do it right away because it's happening now. It's you know what jumped into my head, and this is probably I'm not affiliated with the film company, but or the book for that matter. But there's this scene in The Life of Pi where suddenly all the flying fish are happening, and that's the kind of thing that I have in my head with this, where it's like suddenly you've ended the beginning part of it, and now suddenly it's all coming at you, and this is the time that you need to take advantage of it and just basically start pulling things through, start using the time that is not going to be forever, it's going to be now. And so rely on your inner strength and your resilience, but don't resist this moment, because this is the moment for you to go in and get this stuff, like make this happen and pull things through. What isn't going to help, we have Isa and we have Ivaz. Slow runes. So both of them are sort of based on, they're all coming, everything here is coming from this. So the end of the beginning, and now everything's coming at you. We have Isa, so Isa is the rune of ice. This is the rune of standstill. It's the stillness through which clarity comes, which I usually bring in when it's in an upper line. But when it's in the lower line, it's just like, don't freeze in the face of this. This is the time you have to work on this. This is the time that everything is coming at you. The abundance is just coming into your, like, rushing at your face. And so you need to take advantage of this moment. So don't freeze. And the reason this isn't helping you is because you've been on a relatively leisurely pace. In fact, you've been on an almost boring pace so far. We have Ivaz, which is the rune of the yew tree. This is patience, slow growth, slow development, taking things step by step. And so this is where you've been at. This is your momentum. Suddenly everything is racing at you and it's all coming at you at once, and it's like an overwhelm. And you're tempted to sort of dig in your proverbial hooves and say, no, this is the pace I'm going. I'm used to this. I don't want to rush, because I couldn't rush setting things up for this. But now this is what you've worked towards. This is what you're getting towards. Now, in the cases where this is a back-burnered beginning, this is why. Because you may have been working on something, you may have begun something, but suddenly this has come into being, and this is something that is in your face now, and you have to drop everything that you were doing and work with this, because this is the time you're not going to want to miss this. You definitely don't want to FOMO on this. So it's freezing in place because of in terms of no, I'm digging in, I'm not doing this, and trying to maintain and dig in on to reestablish the leisurely pace that you were having are not going to help you. Once again, the antidote to what's on the lower line is in the upper line. The opposite of digging in and resisting and saying we're going to take this at a leisurely pace still. I was hoping it was going to rain by now, so we didn't have mowing outside. But anyway, stay with me, people. Is to lift up your hooves and not dig in and not resist, because this is the time and we need to take advantage of it in this moment. And also, as far as I'm going to get a little closer. I'm going to try to override the mowing. What is going to override the tendency to freeze is just realizing that this is the moment. This is my moment. Maybe it wasn't the moment that I was waiting for those of you that you just had to back burner a beginning. But if it was the moment that you've been leading to, and this was the end of the beginning, and now you're facing the whole thing, you've unblocked the dam and everything is flying at you. This is what you've been waiting for, and this is huge abundance, and we're going to take a huge advantage of this. We're going to just basically say, okay, we're going to focus on the present moment, and we're going to use this because it's all coming at me. Hooray! Like the mowing! But anyway, enjoy my location's yard work. So ultimately what this is going to lead you to, in literally the next step after this, is that you're going to feel really good about this for yourself. This is something that you're going to be very proud of yourself for having done. We have Manas, which is it's the rune of humanity and your part in it. And it is reversed on the path line. So this is not something you've done to please other people. This is not something that you've done, it is your note in the song, but it's something that probably not very many other people are going to know about unless you tell them. But this is something that is going to be immensely satisfying for you, and you're going to be able to look at yourself with joy and contentment and satisfaction after doing this, after taking advantage of this moment, and go, yeah, we did good with this. We did right by this. So that is your reading, the message that wanted to come through today. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye!